In this lesson, we will be multiplying whole numbers. Some of the vocabulary that you're responsible for is, we're going to start off. The numbers that you're multiplying together are called factors, and the result is called a product. The multiplication property for zero is if you multiply a number by zero or zero by a number, you'll get zero. The result will be zero. The multiplication property for 1, when you multiply a number by 1, like 7 times 1, you get 7. When you multiply 1 times 7, you get 7 back. So when you multiply a number by 1, whether it's before or after it, you get that same number back. Okay? The commutative property for multiplication. It doesn't matter what order you multiply two numbers in, you're still going to get the same product. So if you multiply two factors, 3 and 4, together, 3 times 4 equal 12. But you can also multiply them in this order, 4 times 3, and it's still equal to 12. So the commutative property for multiplication is that if you change the factors order, you'll still get the same product. Now, associative property for multiplication, changing the way that they're grouped does not change their product. For instance, if you multiply the 3 and the 4 together first, that is 12. 12. And 2 times 12 is 24. When you multiply 2 times 3 together, you get 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. Okay. The other thing I want you to know is that if you need to freshen up on your multiplication facts, your times tables, please Google a printable times table chart and just carry it with you until you brush up on that. Sometimes we've been out of school for a little while, or maybe they're just not real fresh because we don't use them a whole lot. You really do need to master that before you can really be successful in any math class. So make sure if you're not just really sharp on your times tables that you do that. And finally, the distributive property, multiplication distributes over addition. So if you have two numbers that are being added together and there's a 3 that has to be distributed onto each one of them, you do it as 3 times 4, and then the symbol, the addition symbol, and then 3 times 5. Then you would take the sum of those two. So you'd get 3 times 4 and 3 times 5. And when you add those together, we would get 27. Now, that's not what this lesson is about. That's actually coming up later when we get to order of operations. In this lesson, all we're concerned with is multiplying and dividing whole numbers. So let's start with multiplication. 3 times 1, there's that multiplication by 1 rule. 3 times 1 would give us 3. 7 times 0, we know that multiplying anything by 0 is going to give us 0. 4 times 9, that is 36. And again, if your times tables are not really sharp, you need to get that times table printed. You can get it, just Google it. I have one on my blackboard as well. Okay. 5 times 7 is 35. 36 times 4. Now, once we get to 2 digits or 3 digits, we're going to write them down. And I always like the smaller number on the bottom when we're multiplying. And what you do is you multiply first by the ones digit. So 4 times 6 is 24. You'll bring the 4 down and carry the 2. So 4 times 6 is 24. Bring down the 4, carry the 2. Then you do it again. 4 times 3 is 12. But because you carried 2, that 12 plus 2 more is going to be 14. And that's how we end up with 144 there. Okay? Our product is 144. Now let's do it again, this time with 132 times 9. 9 times 2 is 18. We're going to bring down the ones digit, carry the tens digit. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 more is 28. Bring down the ones digit, carry the tens digit. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 more is 11. And that's where our comma goes. Let's continue. If we have 94 times 83. Now, both of these are the same size. So I'm just going to put the smaller one on the bottom again. And now, when you're starting with the ones digit, that means the first product will be in the ones digit. So 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 more is 28. Nothing else to carry, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. Now, when you work with the tens digit, when you're going to distribute that, because there isn't anything in the in the ones value, you're going to start by bringing a 0 down for that position. It's like multiplying by an 80, so that 0 would just come down. Then start. 8 times 4 is 32. Bring down the 2, carry the 3. 8 times 9 is 72. Plus 3 more is 75. And I'm going to add those together. 2, 10, so bring down the 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 more is 8. And nothing to add to the 7. So 7,802 is the product. And then here's another way we can see multiplication. 589 times 72. It'll give us a chance to practice that placement again. So when we start with the ones digit, that means our first result our product will happen in the ones position. 2 times 9 is 18. Bring down the 8, carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. Bring down the 7, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Now we'll do the 7. Because it is in the tens position, remember, it's like multiplying by 70, so bring down a 0 for that place value, and then start. 7 times 9 is 63. Bring down the 3, carry the 6. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 6 more is 62. And again, so bring down the 2, carry the 6. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 6 is 41. Now add everything together. Ones digits, tens digits. Now this time I have to carry the 1. That'll give me a 4. Bring down 1 plus 1 is 2 and 4. Now I know I multiply a little bit quicker. Stop the video and see if you can do it yourself. Also, again, the lectures in class will be able to go a little bit slower, but you'll always have these to fall back on. Now, here are the keywords and phrases that imply or mean multiplication. Multiply, product, and times. And here is an example of how they're written. So I'll let you read those. We're going to go ahead and do those or use those those phrases. Multiplying 80 by 10. Now, when you're multiplying numbers that end in zeros, there's actually a little bit of a shortcut. If I have 80 times 10, because I've got 2 zeros that are being multiplied together, I can actually bring those down and then just multiply the 8 times 1. That is 800. Let's try it again over here. If I have 900, that's 2 zeros, times 90. Now this only works when you have numbers that end in 0. You can bring those down right away. So that's going to give me 3 zeros, and then 9 times 9, what is left is 81. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Let's try it with this one. Now, only one of the numbers ends in 0, but it still works exactly the same way. We're going to start by bringing the 3 zeros down and then multiply what's left. 75 times 1 is 75. Now, let's try it again on 41 times 8,000. I'm going to start by bringing the 3 zeros down. And then I'm going to bring this over into the margin because I want to be able to see this when it's a little bigger, right? 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So the answer is 328,000. Okay? And let's do it one more time, and then we'll go take a break and go on to the next video. A textbook for a course in chemistry costs $93, and there are 33 students in the class. Find the total cost of chemistry books in the class. Well, one book costs 93, but I need 33 of them. So I'm going to multiply by 33 students. I'm going to start with the ones digit. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 9 is 27. Then I'm going to scoot over and distribute the tens digit onto the 93. But because it's in the tens position, I need to allow or bring down a 0 to account for that space, because it's like multiplying by 30, isn't it? So 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 9 is 27. I'm going to add that together. 9 and 0 is 9. 7 and 9 is 16. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 7 more is 10. Bring down the 0, carry the 1. I've got $3,069 is what 33 chemistry books would cost. This is a great place to stop and take our little break, and then we'll go on into dividing whole numbers. So we'll start there in the next video.